Today on Dylan Talks Tone, we're going to talk about stereo in a whole new way. Stereo is usually when you have a guitar going out to a pedal board, and then it'll split off and your signal will go to 1 amp over here and 1 amp over here. And usually that means that whatever you're playing into the guitar is affected kind of the same way, but goes out to 2 different amps. This guitar does something completely different. What we've done here is we've split it before it even leaves the guitar. So when you pull up on the tone knob, it becomes stereo. The neck pickup goes out to 1 amp, the bridge pickup goes out to the other amp. If you don't want stereo, you just push down on the tone knob and it's a regular guitar. The only thing is with this guitar, we're also including a TRS cable that works with it, as well as a little box. If you want to be in mono, you can just use a normal cable and you just have a normal guitar. But for the stereo part, pull up on that tone knob and boom, you've got 2 completely different soundscapes that can be built. You could have 1 dry amp, 1 affected amp. You could have 1 driven amp, 1 affected amp. You could do whatever you wanted and send the signal 2 different places. Let me show you. So what we're using today is obviously the Dylan Custom Guitars new Jazzmaster style guitar with the stereo wiring. That's the whole point of this video. But in order to do this, we've got the Supro reverb and we've got a Morgan, and we've got them each going into that Dr. Z cabinet over there with a 112 in it, and then this Supro 112 cabinet here, and then we've got this beautiful pedal board that is got a bunch of stuff on it, and as we use those things, we'll show you what we're using there. Yeah, so what I want to show here is when that guitar with the tone knob pushed down is running this amp right here, sounds awesome. So it's basically just a Jazzmaster with no bass circuit at this point. It's just a normal guitar and we're sending it into this Supro amp. So now let's pull up on the tone knob. And now we've brought in the Morgan and the pedal board. So we've got clean signal coming to this amp here, and we've got the Morgan coming here. And the way this works is the cable and this little box actually split the signal. So we've got the neck pickup is going to the Morgan and the pedal board. The bridge pickup is going to the Supro. So we're using for effects for this stage is the Timeline, the Big Sky, so for your delay and your reverb, and then a box of rocks with the boost on, and then we've got the Morning Glory overdrive for a little bit of crunch. And all that is coming through this amp here. So what I want to do now is we're going to throw some Canyon reverb on top of this. We're going to get real swishy, and this is going to be really fun because I want to show how we can, because we've got one pickup going to one amp and one pickup going to the other, how we can have all the affected stuff over here, all the clean stuff over here, and then be able to mix them together, play over each other. This is something you can't do with a normal stereo setup. So this is a stereo setup that I think is a little bit different than most, and I'm really stoked to be able to put it in a guitar, build it in a guitar obviously, but then also be able to offer it as like a drop-in kit, which you're going to see pretty soon. This has been really fun. So that's it. Isn't that cool? Being able to split your signal, do completely different things. It just widens the entire soundscape and the options that you have with your guitar. I really think it's really awesome. I'm hoping very soon to have like a drop-in harness that you'll be able to put into any guitar that has 2 pickups, a 3-way switch, a volume and a tone. Really, really cool. Or like a Les Paul style guitar that has 2 volumes, 2 tones, you know, something like that. I think it's gonna be really slick. Put in the comments below what you think about it. I'm just curious to know what you think. Would you use this? Is this something that you would find where you would want to make more sounds, new sounds, cool stuff? Let me know in the comments. My name is Dylan. This is Dylan Talks Tone. Well, that was a really fun video to make. Let's go ahead and go through some viewer questions before we close this thing out. So I found a few that I was very interested in. Let's talk about first, under our video that we did a couple weeks ago, or a few days ago anyway, what a $200 guitar looks like inside. That was a live stream that we did. And one of the interesting questions is, if you have a $200 guitar, why are you doing $300 in mods? Why not just buy a $500 guitar? Or is your mod guitar better than a $500 guitar? There's a couple things here. One is, I want to kind of break the whole concept that people think that just because a guitar is inexpensive doesn't make it worth modifying. My feeling is if you like the guitar and if it's yours already, do whatever you want to it and make it more playable and make it the way you want it. And because it is an inexpensive guitar, that kind of almost gives you license or freedom to modify it without feeling bad. So I think inexpensive guitars are actually kind of worth it more. Is it going to have more on the resale side? No, but it's yours. If you like it and you want to do it, do it. I can't stand people that are like, you shouldn't do a thing to a guitar. It's not your guitar. Hashtag calm down, it's not your guitar. Remember, we talked about that before. Let's go over to our video about, this is a few videos ago. This is not the latest video, but It's the one about the Gibson CEO. Now we've been getting a lot of haters and a lot of people talking all kind of trash on this video. But we have one guy, Mr. J. David Dunn-Wager, whatever his name is. I'm a Gibson employee at the Gibson USA plant. I met JC Curley at the end of October. I like him and I think he's going to take us in the right direction. I'm a 15-year veteran and I feel good about my future than I did about this time last year. He probably feels better than he did last year at this time. By the way, robot tuners are gone. That's a ton of good news. That is not an ex-employee who is disgruntled. That's not somebody who's just talking trash on the internet. That's somebody that actually works there, actually met this man, and feels really good about his own job security and about how he feels about Gibson. I think that is a very cool comment, and I invited this gentleman back to make any comments about it anytime he wants and any kind of contributions to the channel. I think that is fantastic. The other thing I also wanted to mention is we've been getting a little bit of hate mail based on the fact that maybe we're advertising some of our products in our videos. Maybe we are showing some products that we're recommending you to buy. Maybe we are talking about Amazon links that are affiliate links that even though they don't cost you anymore, they do benefit the channel. Well, you have to remember, my real job is that I make pickups and I make guitars and I make cables. So, in order for me to continue and eat and have electricity, this is what we do. So you will see from time to time me talking about my products within my videos and or other things that have helped us out in a financial way, like whether that be a sponsored video from time to time, or maybe we'll talk about a product with an affiliate link so we can make a couple of bucks off of it, or a couple cents actually, when somebody buys that product. So that's the way it is. That's how we live and that's how we make our living. So for those of you that don't like that, just fast forward that part. There's a little scan button at the bottom. You know. So anyway, those are cool. Some cool comments this week. Thanks a lot. I appreciate the participation and we will talk to you next time. Make sure that you leave your comments below and we'll give you a shout out on the internet. I think it's awesome.